Hey there! As a follow-up to my last video on stinkin thinking, I want to do a quick video on ways to reverse stinkin thinking. So if you haven't watched that last video, please go back and check out the previous video in my playlist. So in order to reverse stinkin thinking, I mentioned in the last video that you have to sit down, maybe journal if you're a journaler, or just think about it, right? Just take some time to be quiet and just kind of think, okay, what are the stinking thinking thoughts that I have? What are some things that you can start doing to reverse stinking thinking? And before you know it, it's gone. You want to start looking at how can you reframe those thoughts. So to reframe means to take a negative thought or thoughts that you may have and turn them around to positive thoughts or thinking. For example, I know you're going to get sick of me hearing about my student loan debt, but it was such a stinking thinking thought that I had since the moment I graduated from undergrad at SIUE until I went to that Dave Ramsey financial seminar where he said, you do not have to die with your student loan debt. And that at that point, that was my reframing moment. So I listened to what he said after that and his plan, his baby step plan on how to reduce or get rid of that debt. And I went home, made a plan, stuck with it for the next couple years, reduced my spending, got on a budget, and saved every dime that I had towards that debt. And I snowballed it, and a couple years later, done. Right? So that's all it takes. Get out of that thinking, reframe it, make a plan, move forward. Right? So that is my first one. My second way to reverse stinking thinking is to create affirmations. I recently started doing this as I started my new business at the beginning of the year. I had all the original stinking thinking thoughts about starting a business. Can I do this? I don't know anything about starting a business or running a business on my own. Do I have what it takes? Will I be successful? Will I make money? I'm making money now. Why am I leaving such a great job and opportunity and built this career over 23 years to go strike out on my own, right? Those were stinking thinking thoughts. So I have gotten used to saying affirmations, things that are positive, things that can help me. So an affirmation, if you're not familiar with that, is to say something in the positive. Affirmations are very powerful in ways in which you can firmly declare a positive thought and assertively state it as a truth. This can help you overcome self-doubt, self-sabotage, and fear. So to create an affirmation, you typically start with I am command that you're telling your mind and or your subconscious. I guess it's the same thing. Then you state what you want as if you already have it. So you're telling your mind how to visualize that outcome. You could say something, if I were doing my student loan debt scenario over, I would say something like, I am prosperous and debt-free from student loan. And then if you really want to take it to the next level, you should write down your affirmations and repeat them daily. Or I've been doing it in the morning and before I go to bed. So by mind, I'm ruminating on the positives instead of the negatives or the stinking thinking. So that's the thought. There is some neuroscience behind it that you can research. I just know it works. So that is that second method to reverse stinking thinking. The third method to reverse stinking thinking, in my opinion, is to do scripture memorization. Again, I know everyone is not a believer, but as a believer myself, having a relationship with God and studying and memorizing the word is very important to me. So the Bible definitely has important principles to live by. So I've already shared my favorite verse in the last video, but another verse that really goes along with this concept to reverse stinking thinking is found in Philippians 4:8. I think that's key, right? To think and ruminate, to dwell, to constantly think about the positive things. And if you're thinking on all of those positive things, you don't have time to think about negative thoughts. So that's where marinating on positive thoughts come in and how it can help you reverse stinking thinking. So I know all of this may sound woo-woo, but I just ask that you try it, right? It may change your life and your mindset. So I also may have one other video in this series that I think is closely related that I really want to talk about and someone brought up in my comments. I will say that for next time. I've talked long enough, so I will see you on the other side of HR. Thank you for listening.